You know, I was just like you. Every morning I'd have my yogurt, feeling proud that I was making such a healthy choice. Then one day, my doctor asked me a question that changed everything. "What are you eating with that yogurt?" I had no idea that my healthy breakfast was actually causing the bloating and discomfort I'd been blaming on just getting older. Turns out, certain food combinations with yogurt can completely cancel out its benefits and even harm your digestive system, especially after 50. I'm Nancy, and after my own digestive struggles sent me searching for answers, I've spent the last 15 years working with senior nutritionists and gastroenterologists. What I discovered was shocking. 3 common foods that we've been told are healthy can actually turn yogurt, a food meant to heal, into something that silently damages your gut. Today, I'll share what those foods are, why they're particularly problematic for us as we age, and the 3 healing alternatives that have transformed my digestive health and that of thousands in our community. I'd love to know where you're watching from today. Drop your city in the comments. It feels good knowing we're all in this together, doesn't it? And if you find this helpful, that subscribe button helps our little community grow. Now, let's talk about what's really happening in your digestive system after 50. Remember how we could eat anything in our 30s and 40s? Pizza at midnight, spicy food, coffee on an empty stomach? Our bodies just handled it. Then something changed, didn't it? My wake-up call came at my granddaughter's birthday party. The same ice cream cake everyone else was enjoying left me uncomfortable for hours. My doctor just said, "Well, that happens as we age." But I wasn't satisfied with that answer. Why does it happen? And more importantly, what can we do about it? What I learned changed everything. After 50, our stomachs produce about 30% less digestive enzymes. Those are the little helpers that break down our food. It's like trying to wash dishes with less soap. Things just don't get as clean. This is why that yogurt might sit in your stomach longer than it used to. Our dear friend Ruth from church had a wonderful way of explaining it. "Nancy," she said, "it's like my garden as the seasons change. I can't grow the same things in October that thrived in July. Our digestive systems are changing seasons too." The medical explanation is fascinating. Dr. Henderson, my gastroenterologist, showed me a chart of how our gut bacteria, what scientists call our microbiome, shifts dramatically after 50. We lose many of the beneficial bacteria that help digest dairy and other foods. Meanwhile, the bacteria that cause inflammation often increase. This is where yogurt enters the picture. It should be the perfect food for us. It contains those good bacteria our bodies need more of now. But, and this is crucial, those beneficial bacteria are incredibly fragile. When we combine yogurt with certain foods, it's like planting delicate flowers in poor soil. They simply can't thrive. Now, let's explore which common food pairings with yogurt might be causing those uncomfortable symptoms. 3 foods to never combine with yogurt. Problem food number 1: citrus fruits and melons. Oh, it looked so perfect in the magazine. That beautiful parfait with layers of yogurt and bright orange segments. I made it every morning, thinking I was doing everything right. But instead of feeling energized, I'd feel uncomfortable by mid-morning. My friend Doris had the same experience with her yogurt and grapefruit routine. "I thought it was just age," she told me over coffee one day. I even mentioned it to my doctor, but he just suggested antacids. It wasn't until I met Dr. Sarah Williams, a wonderfully patient gastroenterologist who specializes in digestive health for people our age, that I understood what was happening. "Nancy," she explained, showing me a simple diagram. When acidic fruits like oranges, grapefruits, or pineapple mix with the proteins in yogurt, they cause a reaction called curdling. She drew a picture of how the acid forces milk proteins to clump together, making them difficult to digest. I remembered my grandmother making cottage cheese by adding lemon juice to milk. The same reaction was happening in my stomach. Dr. Williams nodded. Exactly. And with less stomach acid and enzymes after 50, these curds become even harder for your body to break down. Melons present a different problem altogether. My neighbor Walter would have yogurt with cantaloupe every summer morning from his garden, then wonder why he had gas by lunchtime. Melons, watermelon, honeydew, cantaloupe digest very quickly, usually within 20 to 30 minutes. But yogurt takes 2 to 3 hours to move through your system. When fast-moving melon gets trapped behind slower-moving yogurt, it starts to ferment in your warm digestive tract, creating gas and that uncomfortable full feeling. It's like having a sports car stuck behind a tractor on a country road, is how my nutritionist friend Elizabeth puts it. The melon wants to speed through your system, but it gets trapped behind the yogurt. So what can you have with yogurt instead? Berries are wonderful. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. They're gentler on your system and don't cause that curdling reaction. For an even easier option, especially in winter, try cooked fruits like baked apples with cinnamon. We'll talk more about that wonderful combination later. Problem food number 2. Meat and high-protein foods. When my husband Richard and I started having Greek yogurt with our grilled chicken for dinner, we thought we were making such a healthy choice. High protein, low carb, isn't that what all the health magazines recommend? But instead of feeling satisfied and energized, we both felt uncomfortably full, like the meal was just sitting there. My friend Tom had the same experience with his lunchtime routine of tuna salad with a side of yogurt. It felt like I swallowed a brick, he told me, and I just couldn't understand why, since both foods are supposed to be healthy. The answer came from Dr. Robert Chen, a nutritionist who specializes in digestive health for seniors. He explained it with a simple kitchen analogy that made perfect sense to me. Think of your digestive enzymes like workers in a factory, he said. After 50, you've got fewer workers but the same amount of work. When you eat 2 protein-heavy foods together, like yogurt and meat, you're asking your limited workers to process twice the load at once. The result? Neither protein source gets properly broken down. The partially digested proteins ferment in your gut, feeding unhelpful bacteria and causing gas, bloating, and that heavy feeling we'd been experiencing. Dr. Chen showed me a fascinating study where researchers actually traced what happens to probiotics, the good bacteria in yogurt, when consumed with meat. The high-acid environment needed to digest meat actually killed off many of the beneficial bacteria before they could reach your intestines, he explained. For Richard and me, the solution wasn't giving up either food. It was simply spacing them apart. We started having our yogurt as a mid-morning or afternoon snack, separate from our protein-heavy meals. Within a week, that uncomfortable fullness after dinner disappeared. For those of us who love yogurt with nuts or nut butter, there's a middle ground. A small sprinkle of chopped walnuts or a teaspoon of almond butter usually isn't enough protein to cause trouble. But larger amounts, like adding protein powder to yogurt smoothies or having a quarter cup of nuts mixed in, can create that protein overload. Problem food number 3, spicy or fried foods. I'll never forget the church potluck where I brought my famous buffalo chicken dip, made with yogurt instead of sour cream, because I was being health conscious. Everyone loved it, but later that evening, nearly all of us over 60 were complaining about heartburn and indigestion. The younger folks? They felt fine. My friend James had a similar experience with his favorite yogurt-based ranch dip and fried pickles while watching football games. I just figured spicy foods don't agree with me anymore, he told me. But the problem wasn't just the spice. It was the combination with yogurt. Dr. Eleanor Jenkins, a pharmacist who specializes in how foods interact with medications for seniors, explained it beautifully during one of her community talks. Spicy foods and yogurt create opposing forces in your digestive system, she said. Spicy foods speed things up. They increase acid production and quicken transit time. Yogurt does the opposite. It has a cooling, slowing effect. She used a car analogy that made perfect sense. It's like pressing the gas pedal and the brake at the same time. Your digestive system gets confused messages, leading to discomfort, improper digestion, and sometimes acid reflux. For those of us taking medications, and according to Dr. Jenkins, that's about 80% of people over 65, this combination poses another risk. Many common prescriptions for blood pressure, cholesterol, and inflammation need specific stomach conditions to be properly absorbed. The yogurt-spicy food combination disrupts these conditions, potentially making our medications less effective. The fried food and yogurt combination creates a different problem. My friend Shirley learned this after repeatedly experiencing discomfort following her Friday tradition of fried fish, with a side of coleslaw made with yogurt dressing. Dr. Jenkins explained that fried foods contain damaged fats that already challenge our liver and gallbladder, which naturally become less efficient after 50. When combined with the dairy proteins in yogurt, they form compounds that are exceptionally difficult to break down, especially with our reduced enzyme production. The solution isn't elimination, it's separation. If you love both spicy foods and yogurt, simply enjoy them at different meals, ideally at least 3 to 4 hours apart. Your digestive system will thank you. Now for the wonderful news. Let's explore the combinations that can actually enhance yogurt's benefits for your digestive system after 50. 3 ideal yogurt pairings for better digestion. Beneficial food. Number 1. Cooked apples with cinnamon. Some of the best health advice I ever received came not from a doctor, but from my grandmother's well-worn recipe box. Her simple note on a recipe card for stewed apples read, "Good for settled stomach. Have with yogurt when feeling poorly." Turns out, Grandma knew exactly what she was talking about, long before science confirmed it. When I mentioned this to Dr. Elizabeth Morgan, a wonderfully warm gastroenterologist who specializes in digestive health for seniors, she smiled knowingly. "Your grandmother was absolutely right," she said. "Cooked apples with yogurt is one of the first things I recommend to my patients over 60 with digestive issues. It's like sending a gentle healing team to your gut." She explained that when apples are lightly cooked, they release a special type of fiber called pectin. It's the same substance that helps jam set. This pectin acts as a prebiotic, essentially serving as food for the probiotic bacteria in yogurt. "Think of it this way," she said, drawing a simple garden on her notepad. "The probiotics in yogurt are like beneficial seeds you're planting in your gut. The pectin from cooked apples is like the perfect fertilizer that helps those seeds grow and flourish." I started making this simple combination: warm cinnamon apples with a dollop of plain yogurt, a few times a week. The difference in how I felt was remarkable. The uncomfortable bloating I'd experienced for years gradually disappeared. My energy improved. Even my seasonal allergies seemed less severe, which Dr. Morgan explained was likely due to improved gut health affecting my immune system. The cooking part is crucial for those of us over 50. Raw apples contain firm fibers and compounds called polyphenols that can be difficult for our more sensitive digestive systems to break down. Gentle cooking softens these fibers and transforms the polyphenols into more digestible forms. The cinnamon isn't just for flavor, though it does make everything taste like a warm apple pie. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory spice that helps calm digestive irritation. Studies show it also helps regulate blood sugar. preventing those energy dips that can happen after eating fruit. Making this couldn't be simpler. I core and slice an apple, leaving the nutritious skin on. Add just a splash of water to a small pan, sprinkle with cinnamon, and let it cook covered on low heat for about 5 minutes while I make my coffee. Once the apple slices are soft but not mushy, I let them cool slightly and spoon them over plain yogurt. Beneficial food number 2. Ground flaxseed or chia seeds. Sometimes the smallest things make the biggest difference. That's what my dear friend Howard told me after a tiny addition to his morning yogurt transformed his digestive health after years of struggle. Howard and I have walked together 3 mornings a week for over a decade. For years, he'd have to plan our routes around available restrooms due to his unpredictable digestion. He tried everything from expensive probiotics to prescription medications, with only modest improvements. Then his new doctor suggested something surprisingly simple. Add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed to his morning yogurt. Honestly, Nancy, he confided during one of our walks, I thought it was too simple to work. How could something so small make a difference when all these expensive treatments hadn't? But after years of discomfort, he was willing to try anything. Within 2 weeks, Howard noticed remarkable changes. His once unpredictable digestive system became more regular. The uncomfortable bloating that had plagued him after meals diminished. Our walking routes no longer needed strategic restroom access. Dr. Rebecca Wilson, a researcher specializing in digestive health for seniors, explained it beautifully. These seeds contain omega-3 fatty acids that help reduce inflammation in the digestive tract, she said. As we age, low-grade inflammation often develops in our gut lining, causing many of the digestive complaints people consider normal aging. These healthy fats help calm that inflammation. But the benefits don't stop there. Both seeds contain soluble fiber that helps regulate bowel movements, something many of us find challenging after 50. This fiber also slows digestion in a beneficial way, helping to prevent blood sugar spikes and providing steady energy throughout the morning. When combined with yogurt, Dr. Wilson continued, you get a perfect partnership. The anti-inflammatory fats and fiber from the seeds create an ideal environment for the beneficial bacteria in yogurt to thrive. It's like sending in both the peacekeepers and the rebuilding crew to your gut. There are some practical differences between these seeds worth knowing. Flax seeds must be ground to release their benefits. Whole seeds pass through undigested. They have a mild, nutty flavor that becomes almost unnoticeable in yogurt. I keep mine in the refrigerator to prevent the oils from becoming rancid. Chia seeds don't need grinding, but develop a gel-like coating when moistened, which can help soothe the digestive tract. They're virtually tasteless, but add a slight tapioca-like texture many people enjoy. They're more shelf-stable than flax and can be stored in the pantry. Beneficial food number 3. Cooked or soaked oats. This is nothing short of a miracle. That's what my sister Jean told me over the phone from Oregon after I shared a breakfast suggestion that had transformed my own mornings. At 81, Jean had nearly given up on enjoying oatmeal and yogurt, 2 foods she loved, because the combination always left her uncomfortable. I understood completely. For years, I'd experienced the same thing. My otherwise healthy breakfast of raw muesli with yogurt would leave me feeling heavy and bloated for hours. I assumed my body was just becoming more sensitive with age, and that I'd have to give up this combination entirely. Then I learned something fascinating from Dr. Michael Reynolds, a professor of nutritional sciences who focuses on how our digestive needs change after 50. The problem wasn't the oats or the yogurt individually. It was how they were prepared together. Raw oats contain compounds called phytates and enzyme inhibitors, he explained during a community workshop I attended. These are the plant's natural protection mechanisms, but they can interfere with digestion and nutrient absorption, especially in seniors whose digestive systems are already producing fewer enzymes. The solution was wonderfully simple. Either cook the oats or soak them overnight before combining with yogurt. Both methods neutralize those potentially irritating compounds and make the nutrients more available to your body. When properly prepared this way, Dr. Reynolds continued, oats become one of the best partners for yogurt. They contain beta-glucan fiber that helps lower cholesterol, regulate blood sugar, and feed the beneficial bacteria in your gut. He described the relationship between properly prepared oats and yogurt as synergistic, each making the other work better. The beta-glucan in oats acts as a prebiotic, providing food for the probiotic bacteria in yogurt. Meanwhile, the protein in yogurt helps balance the carbohydrates in oats, providing steady energy without spikes or crashes. I started with the overnight method, which couldn't be simpler. Before bed, I combine 1/3 cup of regular rolled oats, not instant, with 1/2 cup plain yogurt and 2 tablespoons of water in a jar, cover it, and refrigerate overnight. By morning, the oats have softened beautifully, and the combination digests easily without any heaviness or bloating. For those who prefer warm oatmeal, especially during winter months, there's another approach. Cook your oats according to package directions. Let them cool for about 5 minutes, then stir in a few tablespoons of yogurt. The slightly cooled oats preserve more of the beneficial bacteria in the yogurt, while still giving you that comforting warmth. As I sit here at my kitchen table, stirring a spoonful of ground flaxseed into my yogurt topped with warm cinnamon apples, I think about how long I struggled unnecessarily. For years, I thought digestive discomfort was just part of getting older, something to endure, not solve. How wonderful to discover that sometimes the smallest changes make the biggest difference in how we feel. By simply avoiding those problematic combinations, citrus fruits and melons, meat and high-protein foods, spicy and fried items, and embracing more harmonious pairings, my digestive system feels better now at 70 than it did at 60. Your body has been trying to tell you something with those subtle complaints after eating. That's not just aging, it's valuable information. Perhaps the most important thing I've learned is to listen to that wisdom. Start with just one change tomorrow. Separate your yogurt from those problematic foods, or try one of the beneficial combinations we've discussed. Notice how you feel afterward. These small adjustments often bring the most profound improvements to our health and quality of life. I'd love to hear which combination you'll try first, or any questions you might have. Your experience could help someone else in our community discover their own path to better digestion. After all, this journey is always better when we walk it together.